Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about Far Cry. I don't know if any of you guys have played Far Cry in the past. I have before. One of my favorite open world games to play back in the day when I first played Far Cry 1 and 2. It felt extremely realistic. The story mode seemed very cool, although I never really passed the third mission really or fourth. After that, after I discovered you could play online in an open world in different countries. I think Far Cry 2 took place in Africa, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe, I can't really remember. But it had like an African feel to it, like it was in a country in Africa. Basically, it was extremely fun. Online was super fun. They had awesome weapons. It looked realistic. It was an open world. Like the maps, they felt so real. Like you were really in that country. The way they created the environment, the way the people reacted when you got into gunfights, everything. It just looked so cool. Like you would never get bored, you know. And it's not like the multiplayer had a whole bunch of loads. All I remember is that we had team deathmatch and we had free for all, from what I remember. And that was enough, bro. I would play that for hours on end. It was extremely fun because of how realistic the game felt. It felt like it was ahead of its time, right? The guns looked realistic. The gunshots sounded awesome, mind you. When I was a kid, I never really knew what a gunshot sounded like, but one has its own imagination. You know, one can imagine, right? After seeing Mission Impossible 1, 2, and all those movies, James Bond's and whatnot, you know, I would kind of know, right? But anyway, the gunshots sounded real. The game was intensive. The maps were created perfectly. You couldn't really be a camper in an online match because the maps had its, like, you just couldn't camp. Like, the way the maps were created, it was just awesome. It was a very well balanced, awesome game. Now, Far Cry 6, right? Basically what this article is saying, by the way, the title is Far Cry 6 continues one trend that Ubisoft should abandon. So you can find this article on Game Rant, okay? And basically the article is talking about how they're going to stick to the same formula when it comes to story, right? To the story of the game, where there is a villain, it could be a political villain, or some gang, or some mafia, whatever it is, who is controlling a sector of the country you're in, or if not the whole country. And then you go ahead and you take territory, you defeat different bosses, different parts of the organization, and then you eventually kill the boss. And it's always been like that in every single Far Cry game, right? Well, now, me personally, I don't have a problem with that. I really don't care. As long as the multiplayer is awesome, in my opinion, you could make the story however you want it. As long as the game feels intuitive, feels immersive, feels real, as long as the guns, the guns, you can customize them, as long as you can customize your character, as long as the maps are well balanced and well made for multiplayer interaction, I'm fine with that. And I personally love online open world games. They're so much fun. It's very difficult to get bored of playing them if you have a good group of friends to play with, or even playing with randoms. I mean, look at GTA 5. To this day, it's still one of the most popular games because the online is amazing. It's not because of the story mode, it's because of online. Look at Red Dead Redemption. Why did it fail? Because online sucked. And that's what really draws people in. It's online. It's playing with other people, interacting with them. So, honestly, this article, who cares about the story, in my opinion, right? The guy's saying here basically that, he's comparing it to the other Far Cries and how awesome the villains were in the past. And from the trailer that we saw today, we saw that this new villain looks to be very interesting and very deep, and the acting, he talks about how good the acting is in the game, and how in the past, some villain called Voss, who was, and the actor did an amazing job with the voice acting and the facial recognition. The facial recognition that they used in the game was awesome, and how that made the game even much better. But honestly, who cares? Who cares about facial, whatever acting? Who cares about all that? As long as you have an amazing multiplayer, that's my opinion. All right, so you guys once again can find this article on Far Cry 6 at gamerant.com. All right, so I'll catch you in the next one. That's it for now. Don't forget, follow me on Twitch. I'm doing a $500,000 giveaway. DM me on Instagram. It's the same name as on my YouTube, RoxDDM. In the description, you will see more information of my other, my Instagram, my Twitch, and my Twitter. All right, so feel free to direct message me on that to find out more information on the giveaway. All right, take care. Thank you, folks.